What is up, YouTube? Today we're going to be looking at the finals of the Aichi Champions League that just took place. This will be in our NAIC format with new Destined Rivals cards. The matchup in the finals was Raging Bolt up against Dragapult Charizard EX. Two very unexpected decks to be here. Now, important to note that they have this Psyduck promo card that stops Pokemon from basically just, exploding themselves like Dusknorm, which I don't know if we're going to have that card for NAIC or Worlds. So right now, I'm not entirely sure. We're going to have to wait and see when the set list drops, but we're going to jump into this competitive analysis of the finals of the Aichi Champions League. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below because it does let me know that I should do more of these finals reviews, competitive analysis. I'll try to cover more tournaments from across other regions. Just gotta let me know which ones you want to see, and I will make it an effort to get into some of the U.S. tournaments, some of the Europe tournaments, whatever. But for right now, the Japanese are a little bit ahead of us in terms of sets. So let's take a look at the gameplay. I've got it in 2x speed, so it's a little bit fast. Latias opening on the left and a Fez on the right. We're going to see a Vessel coming through. The Raging Bolt player is obviously going to try to go into the Baby Bolt and snipe as much as humanly possible, but the Shaman does exist in this format, so you can't really always go for the bench snipes. The Tail Mask Oropon is going to be a great attacker into the Charizard EX, but the big problem is going to be the fact that, uh, well, Charizard and Dragapult are both really good attackers and need different things to be dealt with. This Pheasantipity opening is really bad for the Charizard player just because they can't go into a one prize board and try to 2-2-2 from there. This two prize are just going to be sitting on the board, which is a pretty easy target for either Baby Bolt or Big Bolt to just take down off the rip, depending on how the start looks from the Raging Bolt player. Prime Catcher of the Ace Spec of choice. We see the Squawkabilly, we see the Phantom Engine. Everything looks pretty standard from this deck. I see a Slitherwing as well. We're going to go ahead and Vessel out the two Lightning and the Fighting. We're going to go ahead and go into an Ultra Ball, pitching a Grass again and a Lightning. Grabbing the Raging Bolt EX here. Tons of energies in the discard now, so our retrievals and stuff like that are alive. Our Sada is very live now once we get to that position. We're going to go ahead and pass. So the hand is good enough that we don't need to go grab a Squawkabilly, which seems fine. Luminous energies in the deck indicates probably Monkey Dory, or it's just Luminous Energy plus fires to use the Dragapult, which also makes sense to me. There's a Charmander and a Cleffa. Looks like those are the two cards we're going to be looking to grab just so we can set up the board and go from there. We're going to go ahead and Nest Ball out another Charmander probably. Just keep that route going. We see the Chi-Yu for an attacker as well, one prize attacker, something that busts through Cornerstone and makes your Goldago matchup significantly better. The TM Evo as well. So you could go for a TM Evo here, but they're showing off the Chi-Yu here on the stream. Pretty reasonable attack here. We're going to grab the Dreepy, basically set up our whole board. We're going to go not go back in, looks like. Looks like it's going to be an attach, a retreat into Clef. I see the ace spec in hand, but I don't know what it is. 3 cards off the hand. I think it's a prime catcher in the hand. We're going to go ahead and attach again to the Raging Bolt. Draw 3 off the Sada. Teal Mask into the hand. We're going to retreat into this Raging Bolt. And we're just going to take 1 prize card. I feel like just having Sada is a little bit poor. We probably could have gone for a play where we could have taken the Squawkabilly, played a little bit aggressively, get the board going, look for a turn to pop onto the Pheasantipity if possible with Prime Catcher, try to get Owls into play. Like, I think you needed to get some Owls into play this turn, and the Raging World player just chose not to do that with Fan Rotom. I think we should have dug at least a little bit, try to look for the Fan Rotom, look for a play off the back of all those. We're just setting up our board here. Pheasantipity draw, Cloak here. It is a Prime Catcher as the A spec. We're looking for an attack here. Prime Catcher being the A spec means that we can't really like take something crazy. But if we do get a Zard here, we can go Candy Zard and just pop the Teal Mask. Oh no, we can't pop the Teal Mask. We're a little bit. No, we can pop the Teal Mask, right? Yeah, we can pop the Teal Mask. So a Candy Zard here actually pops Teal Mask and just puts ourselves in like a really good spot. We're gonna Ultra Ball with the Electric Cloak. Looks like we're just grabbing Charmeleon here. Maybe the technical player is 1 candy, or there's no access to the candy because an Arven would have done it too, right? If we have an Arven in hand, I see an Iono. Um, Maybe we're grabbing the Chi-Yu as an attacker here. Oh, there's an Arven. So if we have an Arven candy, we can do it, right? There's no shot this only plays 1 candy. I think we should just grab the Zard here and go for it. I feel like it's just so silly not to go for it, I feel like. Or we should grab the Chi-Yu. All right. We're going to put Arven for another Charmander onto the board as well. Just get the board, up and running. A Chi-Yu hits the board, attached to Chi-Yu, escape board here. What are we going to go for here? I think we're debating an Arven play. Arven here, what are we going to grab? Another pop and just set up our board a little bit more. And Evo. It looks like we're just going to sack the Chi-Yu this turn to Evo up our board, which I actually don't hate that much. Oh no, we're just Ultra Ball with the Evo. Oh, okay, I see. Just grabbing the Charmeleon, making it easier for ourselves next turn to just play the game, which I like quite a bit. 110 HP Charmeleon, a little bit bigger. We're just going to sack this guy and let it go. The one price Chiyu also puts our opponent in a little bit of an awkward spot. Sada comes through once again. No, again, like I said, oh, we're just putting a grass there. Weird. As we have the fighting in hand, Stretcher, Steel Mask the other grass, draw one. Like I said, there's no like Rotoms and stuff in the board right now, which makes it a little bit more annoying, I think, for us to like, actually like set up as a Raging Bolt player. Like there's a higher chance we now break to an Iono in the middle or like next part of this game. Because the next thing is I think we're gonna go for the Chi. We're gonna attach the fan Rotom there. We're gonna Crystal or Free Retreat with the Latias and just take it out with this fan Rotom. Actually, I like that play quite a bit. Now we're, however, in a position where I think we should still always like. I'm pretty sure there was a fighting in the discard because we did discard one last turn, so I think there's like zero reason to ever put this grass here. Like it should like 100% of the time always be fighting. I feel like unless we were always going for this, I don't know. Like I feel like fighting is just better to always have here because the threat is like powered up and ready to go. So a little bit of an interesting play here. Charmander and another Droopy hitting the board. A lot of Charizard pieces. We're gonna go ahead and draw Cloak here. Just grabbing something off the rip. Chiyu is now powered up. Prime Catcher up. Or we're just bossing. Looks like boss just take the 2. We're grabbing the Watchtower and the Candy. Both pretty good cards. No Charizard in play. There's a 2 prizer in play, which is the Festendipity. So we can still take the 2 prizes off the board. If we're able to take 2 prizes off the board this turn as the Raging Bolt player, then we're in a really good spot because actually, I don't even know, right? Like we take 2 this turn, right? Like if we take 2, then the Charizard player doesn't even have to take 2. They have the Prime. They can go Prime up the other Teal Mask, pop the Teal Mask, go to 2. Then it's 2 to 2. And the Raging War player has no way to take the 2 that turn, and then Azard just ends the game. So I think it's actually like pretty checkmate from this position from the Charizard player. Like it's actually really like the Charizard player is playing it really well, where they're not putting big cards into play, and so this is like effectively creating a checkmate scenario. There's an Iron Leaves in the hand. Oh my god. Okay, so that's also something that could have been an issue, I guess. We saw it already, so we've used 3 Sadas, and we're just gonna power up our board a little bit more. All these Noctowls and cards are in our hand. We just need to put some guys onto the board to make effective use of it. If there's a Briar could be something that cleans out the game, low key. I don't know if this deck does play Briar. I wouldn't expect a Briar. I would probably Ultra Ball some pieces right now. Grab ourselves at least a Hoot Hoot, bro. I think we should put a Hoot Hoot in play. There's a Hoot Hoot. There we go. I'm down to put the Mew down as well. I feel like there's no reason not to put the Mew down. I would also Ultra Ball for another Hoot Hoot, I think. No, we're just getting rid of the Mew. We just don't want to draw any extra cards. All down. That's fine. We're going to grab the Fez here. Fez is also completely fine. Let's just draw some cards for sure. We've used 2 Stretchers down at least, I think. Draw 3. Cool. Bench another Teal Mask for sure. I think it's just fine to put it down. And the Koraidon. I don't know if Koraidon's better. I feel like another Hoot Hoot's just fine. No, like I feel like I would rather want another Hoot Hoot. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. We're gonna go ahead and retreat and just take the knockout here. Seems like a pretty reasonable thing to do. But the Charizard player effectively has checkmate because of the Prime Catcher that we know that they have. The Chi will take 2. I guess an Iono from the Raging Bolt player plus a like an Iono from the Raging Bolt player plus a Baby Bolt Snipe could change the outcome of things. But that's also really difficult to pull off because you can't really power it all up in one turn. We're gonna take this. Yeah, I think both players recognize that we're in like a virtually checkmate scenario. And I think the Charizard player's gonna be smart enough not to put something down. Oh nope, but I mean, I guess it doesn't matter, right? Like 2 prizes weren't taken. Actually, yeah, I trolled. Okay, so chat. In that situation, it didn't matter if the Charizard comes down this turn because now the Charizard is established and there's a Chiyu established, or the Chiyu is dead, sorry. But the Charizard can take 2, but because 2 prizes weren't taken last turn, it basically means checkmate now regardless because the Charizard player just has to go 2-2. Meanwhile, if the only win condition here for the Raging Ball player is if they play Briar, and if they play Briar, they can kill the Teal Mask. So that's like the one situation where I think you'd be scared of. But I guess in this final scenario, you can go CC here. Like I'm down to go. We're gonna Fez. Nah, I think I was more down to go Countercatcher first. Countercatcher pop the Fez and Iono this turn. I feel like that's significantly better. Just give them the Raging Bolt KO, like just get the free KO away, and just try to end the game on either Ursaluna if you play that card, or just like another Zard, a second Zard. But the Fez draw I think should have come after the Iono because I think we're always planning on Ionoing this turn. So it's a little bit of a small sequence thing, guys. Like we can Nest Ball for. There's Monkey Dory in here for the Luminous. Yeah, that made sense to me. Just another card thinned out of the deck. Not a big deal. I mean, I think we're drawing a lot of cards for like really no reason here. I feel like we're gonna always Iona here, right? Like, or maybe we just want to keep the Prime. Like, I'm okay to just keep the Prime as well, but just I guess you can say that this Raging Bolt deck doesn't play any Iono. And just say like we can just Prime and call it a day. If we find any form of recovery card, I guess the idea is like we can just overbench now. We can go ahead and Arvin. We can bump Stadium for Watchtower. So now this Hoot Hoot is not usable, which makes sense. Um, we're just gonna clean up our board of the things we just want on our deck. I think we can Arvin like if we Arvin for another recovery. I mean, I like Iono way more. Like I like Iono. Like I understand the Prime Catcher going to the bottom is like kind of bad, but I like really like I really like just Ionoing because with the tower, it's like the board is pretty much stuck. And we could even take the active knockout. Like I'm just fine to take the active knockout. But a Briar could still lose you the game here now. Like a Briar plus green guy with everything could still lose you the game. Which is like a little bit scary, right? Like it's a little bit concerning. Obviously this Noctowl is no longer an eligible card to be used. We're eligible first. Grab a Billy out of the deck. So we're gonna just thin one card before we draw cards. I didn't see a Briar, so I think it might just be Checkmate if there's no Briar. But this is where like the list diff comes in. We're gonna go ahead and use the Iron Leaves. So I guess we're immediately conceding the fact that there's no Briar. There's the Iono, the one of Iono. This is why I liked like this is why I like us Ionoing them because if we just take out their attacker Iono or like see like even CC kill Fez and Iono and like set up two Zards is like so threatening. It's like very difficult for your opponent to do anything if they find a way to kill the Fez. You have Checkmate on board. If they find a way to kill the active with the Bolt, which they're gonna already have, you have Fez plus your Cloak to already see more cards. Plus if they Iono you, so like you're already seeing so many cards, and you get to keep an Arvin back in the deck as well, which gives you access to Prime Catcher. So we didn't have to. I feel like Iono was just better with the Stadium because we just put our opponent in a really tough spot to like do anything. Um, like their Noctowls aren't like eligible anymore to be used, which is I think the biggest thing, the biggest part of all this. Um, yeah, like in this situation, like now all they're looking for is an energy card, and the game pretty much ends. Still, like it's still pretty checkmate, obviously, but like yeah, I think the Ionos like for playing correctly is a little bit better. Now they're down to one prize card. We're looking for Fest for three. I see the Luminous Energy, and there's the attack. That is the game. GG's, and we win. I don't see the other cards in the Charizard player's hand, but a very close game, very close series. I think obviously like this board state that I explained when we got the Chi up and running effectively sealed up checkmate. Like from this position, it was very, very difficult for the Raging Bull player to win. So as a player who is playing, you should acknowledge that when you see these checkmate situations, the Fez being on the board is the only liability or the only chance. But even if the Fez goes down, you just keep the board state as it is. Just sell your soul to get another cloak onto play, get a pretty established board, and then you're not losing either because there's a counter catcher and a prime catcher as well. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys learned something a little bit here. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next video.